How you feeling, man?
Pretty lucky.
Say what?
I'm fine. I'm pretty fine.
What?
Well, yeah, I'm good.
How are you?
Ty, we don't have an intro yet. We're still in our infancy, so that's going to have to do for now. Welcome, everyone. Every time. Well, I'm glad to hear. I'm glad to hear you enjoy it until it becomes so cringe that you're like, all right, no more of that clip. No more of that. But Ty, thank you for collecting episode 4. Thank you all for joining. I'm your co-host, actually, Marco G. Maybe or maybe not the 6 scale scoundrel. And I'm joined here by my other co-host, Ty, uncommon, definitely uncanny, sometimes definitely not uncanny Flex. Ty, how you doing?
Well, I'm glad to be back. I felt like I was going through some withdrawal from not doing a show last week.
Yeah.
So I'm
man.
glad to be back.
We thought we had a plan. We thought Ty was going to run it, and it didn't work out.
We thought we had a plan, and I said no, we don't have a plan. Like life said no. Life said no.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen. Much like Gigi says no, life's going to just, But
I missed the show that you did the other day.
Oh, you did? Okay. I didn't miss much though.
No, I didn't get a notification or anything.
You're not the first person to say that. I don't know what's going on with our channel. We're janky, but yeah. But you could always catch it on the replay.
I'm gonna.
Right.
We all love Gigi.
She's really the star, honestly. I do hear people say, you're okay, but Gigi's really the one that we want to hear from. So, yeah, she was in rare form. She wasn't happy, mostly because of all these exclusives, Ty. And we're going to talk about those here. I know last episode we did, but
I got to check that out.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm trying to get our social media post as well. We're just doing it all on the fly. So, Ty, let's just start off with how you doing, because this is it's a rough week right now. So, Ty.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Oh, please.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
So, Ty, how you doing this week?
Dude, it's been kind of that roller coaster where there's been ups, there's been downs, and all arounds, and just there were days where I was like, I woke up and I was just like, fuck everything. I'm not doing anything. Just
really okay.
I'm just give up everything. Like I don't even know where that came from, but it did, and it's like it just frustrations were coming from here, coming from there. I was feeling some anxiety about all the new releases, and I was trying to get
all right. So
get
collecting wasn't helping.
No, it wasn't. And that's usually my escape plan, and it was not. Like it was actually hurting more than helping, because it's like, look at this, look at that. Like this is coming. Oh, I want this. Oh, I want that. And it's just playing into that impulsivity problem that I have. But my bank account is saying, no, you can't. So I'm like,
pulling the reins back.
Yeah. Like, well, make some more thrones. Well, not everyone wants to buy thrones. They're buying these exclusives. They have money for this stuff. So, it's not infinite. And it's like, well, what do I do? Okay. There's some figures that I probably bought because I was being impulsive, which is, part of the ADHD. And
shout out Wenwu.
Yeah. Yes. And maybe he doesn't need to be in that collection. Maybe. So then it's like, well, let me sell some. And you were present. Like we were talking about some of the trials and tribulations of that. Like, I'm putting things out definitely lower than what I could probably get for them, because I just wanted to get the money. Like,
get
I
a
just
little
need
something,
this.
get him out of the collection.
Exactly. I'm not trying to get top dollar, just here. And then they start lowballing you. It's like, well,
it's
do
a
you want
buyer's
to trade?
market, Ty.
It is. And I don't blame them. They're doing what they got to do. But on my end, it's just frustrating. And it like no one wants Death Watch Mandalorians. Just so everyone knows, no one wants those. You know, and when someone offered $50, that's when I just, oh, you know what? I'll just keep it then. I'll just keep it.
Yeah, that's $50 is tough. That's insulting. That's kind of, it's dirty. You know, again, it's a market where anyone can ask whatever price they want to ask, but yeah, that's tough. That's a slap in the face a bit.
Oh, it's horrible. And it's like, you know, and I'm trying not to be rude, you know what I mean? But it's like, so would you take $50? I'd pay that right away. It'd be I'd buy it right now. I bet you would buy it right now. So I was just
I've got the cash ready.
I was like, I didn't say anything. I didn't reply. I just kindly removed the listing and that was it.
Okay. All right.
But,
well, you've learned how rough it is in those streets.
Yeah. And I talked to you and I was like, man, it was just making me angrier and angrier. But I did get rid of Alita, sadly. And I did have 2 Fennec Shans. So I still have one, which is great.
You were listening to Liel too much when he was hyping that figure up. He said, I'm getting 4. I'm getting 1 for the car. I had never heard hype for a figure that high. It's a beautiful figure, by the way.
It really is. And see, the one problem is with having the ADHD and being old, is I forgot that I had ordered her from one place, and then I got all into it because I enjoyed her character on the show. So I'm like, you know, I got to get her. So that impulsivity was just like kicked in. And so I bought her. And next thing you know, the other one showed up. And I was like, oh, I have 2 now. I have 2. Well, maybe I could work with that.
This is why we need the spreadsheet, right, Ty?
You know, the spreadsheet is a fantastic idea, Marco. But it only works if you look at it.
It's true. You got to look at it. You got to update it. Mine may be a little out of date. And I think that's a good segue. We're going to still hear how you're doing, Ty, but this isn't going to only be, you know, talking about where we're at currently, but we want to talk about an escape plan, right? So that could be, has a dual meaning. Number one, how are you going to use the collection to kind of escape from the, you know, problems of everyday life? And I'm taking it to mean, like, how are you going to get out of whatever funk you're in, right? I know you've been in a funk. I'm going to talk about where I've been. It's like, what's our plan to, you know, take positive steps to get out of that as well? So
absolutely. But, you know, to sum it up, I'm good. You know, things sold, things worked themselves out. You know, I found a way to escape, got out of that funk, which we'll talk about. Okay. And, you know, it's all good. You know, I'm here again, not going through that withdrawal anymore. So I'm good.
All right. Yeah, we're back. We are back.
Now,
so Ty,
Marco,
go ahead.
How you doing?
So Ty, I have been better. I did come down with a little case of the COVID, and this is my first time testing positive. Now, I felt a little bit crummy in the past and taken tests, and they've always been negative. So how I'm feeling, you know, I'm pretty light on the symptoms. I just have congestion. Yeah, I was supposed to go to the movies tonight. I was supposed to go see Deadpool and Wolverine. I was supposed to go to a baseball game tomorrow. All of that is definitely in jeopardy. So it was a bit of a bummer way to start the weekend. But you know what? We're just going to deal with it. We are just going to go with the flow. And I will say, you know, I was at Comic-Con, so that's why we didn't do a show last week. And that's probably where I got it, because a lot of people have reported getting COVID from Comic-Con. Shocker. You know, there's thousands upon thousands of people. I think over 100,000 people. And especially, I did get to go to Hall H, which we'll talk about as our warm-up topic. So yeah, you know, my friend asked, was it worth it to go to Hall H and then get COVID? And I was like, yeah, maybe honestly, because I don't feel too terrible yet. So I think I would do it again. So Ty, we're going to talk about those Marvel announcements at Hall H in just a second, but let me check in with the chat. I think folks are still trickling in here, but we got Mike, the Sith Scale Collector. Have a good show, fellas. Hope to jump into the chat a bit later. Mike, appreciate you. Hopefully you can make it back here. We got Ty, Uncanny Flex.
There you go.
in the house. We got 16 Fix. All right. We got Keith Lee. Good evening, peeps. It was a week of exclusives and artisans. Keith, oh boy. That's going to be one of the main topics because they threw a lot at us over the last few weeks. And I think I'm starting to see some patterns. So let's definitely talk about that. We've got the legend, Will Foxification, who I got to meet in person at Comic-Con. Shout out to Marco.
Nice.
As cool in person as he is in front of the camera. Well, Will, appreciate that. Back at you, man. We didn't skip a beat. Will was really awesome to talk to. And he's starting this rumor that I was high on gummies all weekend. It's not true. I was maybe drunk, but I definitely wasn't high on gummies. Will, appreciate you popping in here. And he said, Ty, the man, as always. Keith Lee is saying $50 is a slap in the face. It really is. Like, that's really, really tough. You know who would do that, though? And we hope to see him later is Equan. Equan would absolutely be like, why don't you pay me to send the figure here? Equan is the OG bargain bin bro, and sometimes he can't even knock the hustle. It's just like, you know what? It's
it's just part of the game. Part of the game.
You know those predatory habits, like the lending habits of like payday loans, and then also like bail bonds. That's Equan. He's just predatory. He's like, oh, this person needs the money. I'm gonna go after them. So,
I'm gonna take advantage. Yeah,
that's the market. Let's see. We got Calvin, the low key collector. Shout out to the fellas on the panel. Hey, Calvin. Hope your week is going well. He said he was just in front of the convention center doing either a pickup or a drop off. So, Cal, appreciate you being in here, and hopefully we'll get you on LWO later tonight as well. We got 12-inch Moose Stream in the house. Hello, community of collectors. Never had COVID ever. Moose, I think that's where I thought I was. I was like, I've never at least had a positive test, but here I am. And these, I've never seen the line so definitive. Like I took it was like, boom, nope. Took another test from another brand, boop, right away. I was like, okay, I think there's no movie for me tonight. That's for sure. Calvin is saying, had the pleasure of meeting Will Fox last weekend in STCC. Cool as the other side of the pillow. Heck yeah. We had a really good group, honestly. It was just a really fun time at Comic-Con. We got Larry Walker in the house. What up? Larry Walker doing well. All right. Ty, clear your throat. We need you to get ready here. We got Big Dog Pound in the house.
Woo!
That was beautiful. That was top notch, honestly.
That's my guy.
Thanks for being in here. We got Silon in the house. Hi, everyone. Cylon, thanks for being in here. Calvin was saying, hell yes, Hall H was well worth the 6 hours waiting in line. We're going to talk about that in just a second, but it was a clusterfuck to watch that show. So, yeah, definitely worth every second. We got Eclectic Collector. Hello, everyone. Eclectic Collector, thanks for being in here. We got Jose G. Hernandez in the house. What's up, fellas? Jose Plus, thanks for joining, brother. Let's see. I think that is it for now. So, Ty, I do want to start off talking about Hall H. Tell me you're up on all the announcements that went down from Marvel, the big panel.
I am not. I've heard some things. Again, I was in a semi-bad place last week, and I got to the point where it wasn't helping, so I was staying away. And I would catch stuff on IG, I saw this and I was like, what is going on? But then I figured, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna wait and we'll talk, because I thought I was gonna talk about it last Friday, but that didn't happen. But tell me what happened.
Okay, let's just cover the really big stuff here. So, first of all, I just want to chronicle my experience. Shout out to Useby, who goes to Comic-Con, I think every year for a long, long time. He's the one that's helped, a lot of us in the group get tickets, because I've tried for so many years, could never get tickets. Like the little walking guy in the queue just would never go anywhere. He'd just be walking in place. I'm like, okay, I guess it's not destined to be. And then he finally, kind of helped out to get tickets. So, I think last year was my first year going officially. The year before, I kind of, found my way in there, but it wasn't, having an official ticket. So last year was the strike year. So they didn't have all the big studios, all the big actors over there. I've always wanted to do a Marvel Hall H presentation, right? Like when they showed the first footage of Infinity War, I thought like, how incredible would that be to be there? And so, I was asking Useby, I was like, if I want to watch one of the big panels, what does it take? because they're on Saturday. And he said, I probably don't bother because people start camping out on Thursday night for the panels on Saturday. And he's like, so you're going to miss some big time in the convention or just being in San Diego in general. So I was like, all right, it's not meant to be. Saturday we went to the convention a little bit late. We had a late night the night before. So we decided like, all right, I just told everyone in the group, hey, I'm just going to go see if I can find the line, see how long they tell me to wait, and then let's just see what's up. Because Marvel wasn't later that night until 6. So I walk, around the convention center, and I see, what were they? Metal detectors. And so, there was no line for the metal detectors. So I walk in, I was like, hey, this is for Hall Asia. Yeah, come on in. So go through all this maze of like, they were waiting for a really big crowd, walking. And then here I am almost to the front doors of where the convention center are. And I asked the people in front of me, I was like, hey, are they going to take us to a larger line? And they're like, no, we should be good. And then I messaged the rest of the guys like, hey guys, here's a picture of where I'm at. Come now. Like, I think I might be getting in soon. And then Usby's giving me a hard time. Like, all right, cute that you think you're going to be in. And then I kid you not, 10 minutes later, they're like, hey, who wants AC? And they just let me in. And it was crazy. So walked on in, found a seat like fairly close to the front. Obviously it's a 6,000 person convention or ballroom basically. So there's a lot of folks in there. And once you're in, you can't leave. So I didn't have water. My phone was almost dead. I was like, guys, like come now. So Calvin came, right away. They didn't let him in for 6 hours basically until the Marvel panel was starting. So I camped out there. I saw a Penguin panel. I saw Superman and Lois. I saw Star Trek. There was one, like women in acting. They had one of the teachers from, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on the name, but the senator from The Boys, like they had a really star-studded panel. So yeah, it was a really cool experience. Long story short, got to see the Marvel panel by some miracle, basically. So, Ty, I talked a lot right there. They announced Avengers is not going to be King Dynasty anymore, so the next Avengers film is going to be Doomsday. We don't know if Kang is going to be around anymore, but we know Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Victor Von Doom, as Kang. Excuse me, as Doom. What do you think of this? Yeah, right. Hey, you know what? What do you think about him playing Doom? Is it off-putting because he was already Iron Man? How do you think they're going to introduce him?
It's something like I said, I did hear about this, and I was actually talking to my son about it, and I'm like, I don't know what to think. Because, I see him as Iron Man, and I also see like Marvel is not in a great place right now in their cinematic universe. Things have kind of cooled, like I felt that cooling as well on them. And to see them bring him it almost feels like they're like, all right, we got to get people back in here. Who do they love? They love Robert Downey Jr. It's almost like Hot Toys when they need to make sure they make some money. What do? They bring out an Iron Man figure. So it's like Marvel's it feels like they're kind of doing that, and I don't know that the super history, not super, I don't know the history with him being Doom in the comics like other people do. So I'm not going to pretend to know that. I just have like a very surface level understanding here. So I'm willing, I still enjoy him as an actor. So I'm willing to see what they do. I hope they bring it back because I want to be excited and look forward to Marvel movies again. So, I'm not going to be negative and things like that. I want to see something good. Give it to me. If you're going to do something good with it, bring it on. Give me Chris Evans too.
I think that they're all on the table at this point, Ty. And you're not wrong that it's a desperation play. Like it is like, we're in a rough spot. Let's bring back the OG, the one that started it all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that, it could be both desperate and brilliant at the same time. Obviously that'll all be dependent on the execution, but if it was just Robert Downey Jr. being brought back in a vacuum, I would be more nervous. But the fact that they're bringing back the Russos and bringing back I think Christopher McFeely or Christopher Marcus, I think is the one that, they're 4 for 4. They wrote Winter Soldier and directed Winter Soldier, obviously, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame. So for me, that's about as good a track record as you can get for not just superhero films, but films in general. So I think that, I think it's an exciting time for the MCU. Obviously, no spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine because Ty hasn't seen it yet. But, it feels like audiences are reacting very positively to that. Other things that they showed at the convention. So we're talking about this. So Avengers Doomsday, they're going to do Secret Wars. Russos are going to do both of those. I think that's awesome. Like, I think that they were destined to always do that. It's always been my hope. And I think Joe Russo is the shorter one. I've met Joe twice. So Gigi and I actually flew out to New York for a showing of Civil War, which was incredible. It was done by, I don't know if you're familiar with the publication Collider, but they put it on. They had the Russo brothers there, and they did a Q&A afterwards. You got to meet them.
Oh, and that's awesome.
They're just such dorks when it comes to this stuff. Like, you could tell that they just love playing with their action figures on screen, right? Like, they just absolutely love this stuff. And so if anyone's going to pull off a film like Secret Wars, it's going to be them, because you're not going to get any more action figures on screen than that thing.
I agree. Like, I forgot to mention that when I heard the Russos were involved, like, I trust them. Like their movies with the Marvel stuff are some of my favorites. So yeah, I definitely trust them. They know what they're doing.
Absolutely. Like, they're the ones that could right the ship for sure.
Yes. I do have a question though.
Go ahead.
Just looking at this photo, and like, I looked at it, when I first saw this pic, he's definitely older now.
He's showing some age for sure.
Yes.
Father Time is undefeated. Now, if he was darker complected, we just we age a little bit better. But he's
exactly. It don't crack like that. Like, he's showing the his heroic struggles.
He is, but I think that could be that could play to the strengths of, the strengths of him being a different variant, right? I think at the end of the day, he's going to be a variant of the character he's already played. Because I think it's going to be tough to explain. Like, he's got the same face, but he's a completely different character. Right. And Tony's always been kind of a villain, right? Or not even just kind of, like, he's been a villain.
He's been an ass.
He created Ultron, Civil War. He signed the Accords. Suit of armor around the world.
Exactly. So you could see him, being that kind of a dick. It's just he grew on us.
Exactly. He had endearing qualities. And in terms of multiversal storytelling, right? Ty, we always talk about, like, you're having a good day, a bad day. Some of us are one bad day away from, completely different paths. All of us are. That's right.
Hey, man, I've got some printers. I could print out a Dr. Doom mask like that. So, just one bad day.
Don't mess around. Don't mess around.
Do it. Don't fuck around.
So, all right. So we covered that. The other one I want to cover is the Fantastic Four. So they showed the first test footage of Fantastic Four, and it's been leaked online. It was kind of like a conceptual trailer. So it wasn't like a cohesive trailer, but it looks good. And Pedro Pascal, I think, is going to kill it as Reed Richards. I think that they're going to have a really awesome universe. So it's set in the 50s, but a retro 50s in a different universe. So it's separate from the mainline Marvel universe, and it's like a retro future. So if you think of like Disney Tomorrowland, is kind of that vibe that they're going for.
Okay. Interesting. Because I've had my reservations about Pedro as Reed Richards. Like, I liked John Krasinski as Reed when he showed up, and I like Pedro and the roles that he's played. He's obviously Mando. Then we see him as Joel in The Last of Us. And then when I hear that he's going to be, Reed Richards, I'm like, you know what? I've got a lot of Pedro already. I don't think I need more Pedro right now. It's like, are you just plucking him because he's Pedro right now and he's the hotness, or? But I'm willing to give him a chance. Because you never know. I mean, back in the day with Michael Keaton being chosen as Batman. People were like, how in the hell is Mr. Mom going to ever be the Dark Knight? You know, and look what he was able to pull off. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to down it. It's one of those, well, let's see what you got. Give me that. Let's see what you got. And you're saying it looked pretty good. So
It looked good. And may I say, Vanessa Kirby, she's something else for sure. So I think that they've got an awesome cast. She will play Sue Storm, Invisible Woman.
You showed me
also
her
in
before, haven't you?
I'm sure. She's in the Mission Impossible films as well, the most recent ones. She's quite the... Let me keep it respectful, but let me check in with the chat really quick, Ty. While you look up Vanessa Kirby.
Yeah, I'm going to look her up.
Keith Lee is asking, you got the InArt Batman already? Where from? I'm still waiting from Kit to fulfill my order. I PO'd Artisan Iron Spider-Man, found an amazing Spider-Man to complete the No Way Home trio. Incredible. So I've got my InArt Batman from Kit. This is a sculpted version, though. I do have a rooted on order. You know, the sculpted might be enough for me, though. So we'll see. We'll see if that stays in the collection. But and then awesome on the Iron Spider. We're going to talk about that here in a bit, and also finding the other Spider-Man to complete the trio. So, you know, I've got those guys right here, and I'm still waiting to put Tom Holland over there. So the collector is saying Kidpool is coming with the couch. You watch, they will have the price up there. That makes a lot of sense because Kidpool is such a tiny little thing. I could totally see it coming with that couch. And we're going to talk about that in a sec. Ty, you might be like, which couch? Duck Collector saying Duke is going to kill Pepper in the ending credits of Fantastic Four to introduce him. Oh, that'd be something for sure. Let's see. Keith Lee is saying, well, after the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, I'd say MCU is pretty happy right now, in a much better place. Moose is saying infamous Iron Man. Yeah, I think they got a lot of precedent for Iron Man being Doom or Doom being Iron Man, you know, kind of in the same mold. It feels like they're narcissists and they've got similar motivations. I'm not a huge comic guy, but I did just buy the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars run because I want to start studying up. I want to stop being such a casual. So
wait. You said that. You said that as like that's something bad because I'm casual. You said that like you were kind of looking down on me here for a second.
I am. Once I get deep into the once I'm a know-it-all when it comes to the comics, you won't be able to tell me shit, and I will definitely gatekeep, and I'll definitely look down upon you. I will be like, well, actually, if you reference Jonathan Hickman's run of the Secret Wars, you will know that God Emperor Doom was okay. I'll be even more insufferable. Sorry, Ty.
My goodness.
Let's see. Larry Walker said, I think there's just I think there's more to this story. We just have to wait and see. Yeah, I agree. Keith Lee saying, Chris Evans is too young to be out of the MCU. I'm good with Scarlet Jo being done. They're all coming back. And you may say like, oh, it's going to undo it. That's the thing about multiversal storytelling. We will get all the variants, and I'm okay with it. I love multiversal stuff. I really do. We got the legend Danny Lee in the house. What's going on, Danny? Let's see what else. Jose saying, Marco already thirsty for Vanessa Kirby. If you saw Pedro holding her hand at Comic-Con, I was like, ooh, something's going on between the two of them. I don't know if they're both happily married, but something's going on. I'm just saying.
I just looked her up, and now I remember her. Oh, yeah.
He said he has anxiety, and so he had to hold her hand. And
Ty, he has anxiety?
Apparently, Pedro's one of us, Mando, he's got anxiety.
All right.
And I just think if we all had a Vanessa Kirby to hold our hands when we're out there, I think it could make everything better. So
it'd make it better for me.
That's right. Shout out to Gigi. Gigi, just hold my hand more often and we don't. Let's see. Equan saying, I love Vanessa Kirby. Personality, yes, that's the word. Let's see. X-Men Supreme in the house. Ladypool. We will get there. Let's see. Moose is saying, this week I bought 9 hot toys from Pop Culture on Sunday with the winter discount. 3 artisan pre-orders, Scorch and Iron Man for 30% off. Oh, okay, Moose. Hell of a week. You're killing it right now. Like a true bargain bin, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Let's see. You want to read this one? Can you see this one, Ty?
Oh, from X-Men Supreme?
Yeah.
If you don't know the comics and only follow the films, then yeah, you're a casual fan. There's nothing wrong with it, but there are issues that come with getting your info from secondary media. Is
All
there a
right,
reason
there
why
you
you had
go.
to read that?
My
As I
voice
was
is going to
reading
go at
that,
some point.
As I was reading that, I'm like, now I think I know why you wanted me to
No,
read this.
it wasn't a setup. I promise. I just needed I just need a little bit of help, and also
Sure.
I'm talking too much, so
Of
I want to make
course,
sure I
of
spread the
course,
love.
of course.
Let's see. Sith Scale Collector. He definitely does. He talked about it before about anxiety. Okay, I had not seen that up until recently. So Jose is saying that I have anxiety too. Can she hold my hand? I'm saying Jose. I'm saying Jose. Gigi is saying I was about to say how dare you, Gigi. All right, you know what? I wouldn't trade you in for Vanessa Kirby. Probably wouldn't. So no, my shout out to my lovely wife. Thanks for being in here, Gigi. Danny, we all have anxiety. Oh wait, I can't state the obvious. Oh wow, okay, Danny. I think everyone has their own anxieties for sure. So let's move on from the Marvel panels and let's talk a few figures here, Ty. This one I'm going to talk about first because you are a Batman collector. You were showing me your updated display, Ty.
Yes.
And I want to know, are you getting this 89 Batman, number one? Are you getting a 89 Batmobile? And if you are you getting the Jazz Inc? Are you getting the Hot Toys? What's your 89 Batman plan? Or do you already have representation from this movie?
So, I want to first say that I am a casual fan. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not hardcore. Like back in the day when I was younger, yes, but like now, no. I am definitely on that casual side. Just entertain
It's all relative.
me.
It's all relative though, Ty. Like think
good.
about this. We collect $100 dolls, hundreds of dollars dolls.
Yes.
Of the things that we love. That already makes us like way less casual than most people, but there are people in our circles that are way more into this stuff. So it's all, it's all,
and
it's
I
all
respect the hell out of them. Like with the comic knowledge and everything. Like, yeah, I can't compete with that anymore. I just can't. But as far as my Batman plans, I have the 1.0. What is he? DX09? I got him. The funniest thing, I got him from Toys Wonderland. That was back when the only thing I knew about collecting was Justin's videos. So I got it from Toys Wonderland. It was fine. He was used or whatever. But he was in great condition. He even had a custom cape. So he had the trash bag cape, but he was wearing a custom cape. So someone, wherever he came from, he had a custom cape. So that was cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Because that's the biggest weakness of that previous release. Okay.
Yeah. And that garbage bag cape is in his box still. Like, I put that in storage. No one needs to see that thing. So I have that. I have the is that the Mars Toys Nicholson Joker?
Oh yeah, the
That's
Mars
Toys, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
So I have him because I don't have the Hot Toys one, unfortunately. But the Mars Toys is more than a good stand-in for that. I'm happy with that, especially since he was like $150. So, and that's a lot better than like 400.
Yeah.
Or more. I am definitely getting this. Like I did a video the other day on when I was first looking at the blogger photos and everything, which look really great, but there's a lot of talk about this guy. Before I talk about that, but I am getting an 89 Batmobile, but I'm waiting on the Jazz Inc. Like I have it paid off. I'm just waiting to get it's time for you to pay for some shipping. I got emails about the 68 Batmobile. They were like, oh, you were on the wait list for the 66, but the 68, you want that? And I'm like, no. And then they're like, oh, you haven't responded yet. Like, do you want this? Because we're going to cancel your order. I'm like, I didn't order anything anyway. So, and then I got an email today saying, we've canceled your order. I'm like, that's good because I didn't want it. I don't want the 68. No, thank you. Just give me my 89. I'm good. I don't have any more room in my garage for any more Batmobiles. But this guy, I noticed right off the bat in the photos, he looks really crispy. Like he looks very, very sharp, you know. And
You're talking about the cowl specifically, right? Because we'll get into what people are saying in the community about it.
Yeah, the cowl, his armor, you know, you can see it even in this picture that you have up here. Like it's very sharp, you know. And I'm just wondering, is that the figure itself, or have they been futzing around with you know, the sharpness sliders and the contrast? Because he's very contrasty here.
Interesting.
You know.
Okay, the colors are popping. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's really popping here. And I'm not saying that people are wrong. Like, hey, you know, his detail is off. Like they went too hard on it. But I'm just wondering if that's just these photos, you know, because the lighting, they're really getting dramatic with it, you know, evoking the whole 89 movie with these photos with the smoke in the background, you know, the hazing and everything. It's not like if you saw it in like a sideshow first look or Justin's video where it's just flat white, you know, lighting, photo lighting, just to show you the bare bones figure. Like this is what you're going to get. You know, this looks like it's been touched a lot.
I think that's fair. Yeah, and that's seems to be the case with a lot of recent blogger photos. It's like you can't really tell what's photoshopped versus what's what how the figure is actually going to look.
Why is Bretta trolling?
You may find out in just a second, Ty. You may find out in just a second. But really quickly on the trolling, he says this guy either doesn't stream or either streams nonstop all night. It is true. I either will just be like, oh, I'm not going to stream for an entire week, or I will stream 20 streams in one week. So there's no in between. I will say that that's probably like some form of depression, where it's like sometimes I'm feeling like leave me alone. And other times I'm like, okay, like I'm here. Like I want to talk with my friends. I want to be active in the community. So let's talk about this texture really quick, Ty. So Bretta's saying the avocado texture doesn't go out with less exposure. So yeah, so this is the issue that a lot of folks are having in terms of the suit. They're saying it's too textured, and that's not what it looks like in the final film.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, this is me guessing. I don't know because I have not seen this thing in person. Because they're right. He definitely was not this high def in the movies with that texture. So where they got that from would be interesting to know. Like if they just decided to do their own thing. But I would like to know, like, people who've seen it in person. Like, does it actually look like that? Because that's weird the way they've done the whole, like, with painting and things like that. This is something that would be called like orange peeling, where, you know, something interacted chemically with the paint and whatever primer, or like if you used enamel or something like that, and acrylic, sometimes they have a bad reaction and you get what's called orange peeling, which looks like that, you know. So
like the bumpy texture, you're saying that could be
like where it's got a lot of cracks and stuff like that, and and things. Like I've seen that on stuff that I've tried to paint. Like I've tried to paint a throne, and I had like acrylic paint, and then I used like an enamel on top of, or vice versa, one of the two. And after I let it dry. I came back out to get it. I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, it was just like this cracky sand dunes looking thing. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, because they just didn't interact properly, and they gave a weird looking orange peel type texture like that.
Okay, interesting. I've never heard something like that.
Yeah, I should have showed you the pictures.
Yeah, you should. Okay, so next show you gotta have those prepped. Yeah. So I will just say, from my perspective, okay, we're talking about casuals here. I'm a casual when it comes to 89 Batman. Obviously grew up with the film. I saw Returns a lot more than I did see the OG 89 Batman. And so that's really the version that I want the most. And it seems like Hot Toys, they teased it. Seems like we may be getting that as well. This doesn't look bad to me, though. Like, does it feel as screen accurate? I probably would want a more smooth suit. I do think that that's a really odd choice. Like you said, whether it's a chemical reaction or intentionally designed this way, it's just really, really odd that they decided to do this bumpy texture. But Bretta,
Weird.
what's your theory of why Hot
Oh,
Toys did it
jeez.
like this? Is it the old mold that got fucked up, perhaps, or what?
I'm not seeing any photo. Are you showing any photo on screen?
I am. Yeah, I'm showing the
Oh,
the
really?
Facebook photos. Yeah, you're not seeing anything?
I'm not seeing anything. Wait,
Wow.
Weird. Okay.
How are you?
Oh,
Okay, he's not talking to me. Hey, he's good.
he's out.
great.
Here I was really quickly. Let's see. Let's add him back. Bretta, what's going on? Can you hear us?
Is he
Yeah,
6
but
scale
there's no
collector? He
photo.
knows what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
there's no photos anymore. Let me see. I'm going to try this really quick and let's see if this solved it. Are you seeing stuff now?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
why are you?
what's your theory
Why are
here?
you not? Why are you not showing the photos from the collectors? Why you are showing?
Yeah,
the
well, you know what? Damn it. This is I'm a casual. I still need to connect my Facebook to everything. Do you have those available by chance that you could share?
Do you
with
want me
us?
to share?
Yes, if you could, please.
Are there
'Cause I
people
was-
that have this and showing pictures?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they are already
Okay.
showing this. But you know what?
I don't know
We're
about that stuff.
And
Really
there is
quickly-
even comparisons.
Well, while Bretta pulls that up, Mike is saying Ty is dead on. My first thought too was that this thing had orange peeled. Okay, I was not familiar with that at all. All right, let's take a look here at these. Thanks, Bretta, for sharing these. So this is the DX09 on the right, and then the new
That's
version
kit.
here on the left.
Right? That's a kid picture. Oh, no, a Jackson Drew picture because of the cape. I saw that.
No, this is one of the blogger photos that sometimes take photos for Hot Toys, but this time he just took in his own home. But you can see the texture is completely different.
Completely different. So do you think that it's intentional, or do you think that it was maybe a manufacturing
No,
defect?
I think it's intentional because the
That's weird.
announcement, the prototype photos, the announcement, I went back to check them and they were the same.
Are those like bullet marks like in his abs?
No,
Like where a bullet hit it?
Those
Like what
not
are they doing?
bullet marks. Those are not bullet marks.
Well, what
for
are they?
sure.
Are they dents?
One thing is interesting. Yesterday I was complaining about the yellow because you can see the yellow on the is different. Is a more darker yellow on the DX09,
yeah,
right?
it's more
And
vibrant to Ty's point on this one.
Yeah.
And the tail goes until the end on the new one. You see the tail goes until the end of that thing, the oval thing, or whatever you call it.
Uh-huh.
And yesterday someone commented on my stream saying that he was checking the movie and the new one is accurate. The tail should go until the end. The DX09 was not accurate. The bat logo.
Okay, so that's an upgrade at the very least. And how do you feel about the cowl? Do you think that the cowl is an upgrade?
I don't know because the memory I have is the cowl. The ears should go way more up, and the new one seems they are shorter. I don't know. But there is here other one. Let me see which one.
Yeah, I
you
hadn't
even can
noticed
see
that the ears are.
even the belt. The is different. The color.
His belt is super popping in that new one.
I do like that though. I do like the really vibrant yellow. Like to me, that
very
just in
vibrant.
terms of a figure, it makes a better figure.
But now
I
let
don't
me
know.
ask you.
Yeah.
If you see them one ear side by side, right? Forget that one is new, one is old. Okay, just put in your mind in which one would you see Michael Keaton inside of the suit? I see the DX09. I don't see him so sleek and that tall like the new one. You know, I know it's upgrade for the body, of course, but if you put in your mind in where you would see Keaton inside the suit, I see more the DX09.
I see him in both.
Different
just
bodies.
It's just that new suit is very. It's just very
Keaton was
high def.
Keaton was not that tall.
There's
not that
a
tall either.
boxiness to him as well that is coming through a lot more in this picture of the DX09. Like that feels like how he looked on screen. Like he was just a lot more boxy. You're right. the new one feels a little bit more stretched out, and it's just not.
The new one gives
Conveying
me
as much.
more Val Kilmer vibes, you know?
That's a good point. Yeah, he's a little bit taller. The ears are a little bit shorter. That's
But I
very,
still
very
have
true.
more. I have one that I know you will like a lot.
Okay, please. This I'm scared now.
Please.
So Bretta, what was your plan though? Because were you gonna sell the DX09 and get this new one, or what
No,
was your?
I
what
would
was your
never
plan
sell the DX09. But let me
Okay,
just
that's in
put
the
this
collection
photo
forever.
here. Let me just. Where is that? Not this one.
Yikes!
I think
See, that
it's,
Bruce Wayne doesn't look like my Bruce Wayne.
that is Mars Toys, I think.
You've got the Mars, right, Ty?
Yeah, that's the one I have.
It was just the lighting.
Look
Yeah.
at this.
Oh wow,
Jesus.
looking like a little linebacker. Oh my.
It's
Oh,
very
he's
creepy.
stocky. he's very thick.
The proportions are so interesting too, where it's just the upper body is so shrunken down and the legs are very, very tall.
You know, that's the thing they do with like heroes. Like they do it like that. Like they do that with Iron Man to make his legs longer than what's humanly normal.
Holy
Here's the
shit.
one I want to show you. This is
To
the one
give
I
him
want to show you.
more heroic
These
proportions.
This mouth plate is horrendous.
Wow.
Oh,
So
Why do
about
they
your
have to do
question,
it?
my idea was take the DX09, seat him in the Batmobile, and have the new one outside. But now, because I don't know if I will like the suit so much, maybe I will seat the new one in the Batmobile.
you go just shove them in there.
Just shovel there inside and that just put an avocado inside the Batmobile.
An avocado, orange peel.
Now, let's see. I'm also a bit worried now about the base because I don't know how tall is the
It
base.
looks pretty massive, huh?
Yeah, I'm worried about the height because I don't know if it can fit in my cabinet. I hope so, but yeah, I think it's time for a Jack Nicholson now. You know, because my DX08, I still love it. He's an amazing figure, but everything ages, right? Every material will age with time, and that figure would benefit from a new body. The paint application in that head sculpt, I still think is pristine, but they could improve on something. Maybe the tailoring, something like that. I would like that. For sure.
Yeah, it feels
Did
like
Keaton
time to
ever
do it.
make this face? Did he ever make this face in the movie?
How do you think? I don't know. Maybe.
I'm just
It doesn't not read Michael Keaton to me though. I almost said Keaton. Doesn't not read Michael Keaton to me though.
like that reads
it's-
Michael Keaton. That looks like a
that's a
costume
dope
test.
pose.
Yeah.
And this
Okay, so-
stock cape looks okay. Apparently.
So the DX09, you would never want to pose him like this though, right? Because the body was so rubbery.
I cannot. I
Okay.
cannot.
He
So this
does
is a
DX09
big upgrade.
The DX9 is, for example, if you move the arm is straight, right? If I make it like this, you will back to the original position. It doesn't stay. The rubber will push the arm back.
Yeah, I
At
took
least
mine
in
out of the
mine,
box,
but-
and that's it. Like I stood him up on his base, and he's been like that ever since.
Yeah,
Like I don't
mine.
bend-
Mine is
I
in a
pose him or
museum
anything.
pose. Drape cape,
Exactly.
amazing.
He's been like that since COVID.
Okay, yeah, and so on the cape though, this cape does look good, but I still feel like maybe a Jackson Jew cape will be needed as well. What's your plan, Bretta?
I have one already from Jason on the DX09, and I'm going to order a second one because people complain about the time that it takes to ship those things, right? Because it takes a lot of time. But normally here in China, it ships within 2 weeks. So I don't know.
Oh wow. Okay, all right. So you can get it on demand.
Not on demand, but you still need to wait 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, 2 weeks to me is like that's nothing.
For me, it's a
In the
lot.
realm of
It's-
yeah, in the realm of
Once
how
you-
long we
on-
wait for
once
shit.
Once you pass 40, 2 weeks is 1 year.
True, you don't have too many weeks left at this point. So
Hey, let's not go down that
all
road.
right. Well, we did. He took it there.
Yeah, he's talking about 40. I'm definitely past 40.
But now, why I came here? You need to ask me why I came to the stream.
Yeah. Why'd you come here? I figured you wanted to
Because I
talk to
was
us about
in your
anxiety.
channel. I saw, okay, he is live. and I was not understanding what this stream was about. Is Thai? Thank you, okay, for collecting. But then you were in the description of this live stream, you are talking about mental health.
Yeah.
Normally you talk about mental health here in this stream.
We do. We try to pepper it in amongst, the figure talk, and we try not to get it too heavy, but we do have a topic of the show. So if you're interested in, chatting with us about, so what the topic of the show is going to be when we're feeling like we're in a funk, right? Because depression, anxiety, ADHD, those are all kind of like cousins, right? That can affect our brain chemistry.
But nowadays everyone has ADHD. Everyone has ADHD.
So I guess, Brett, I think that's like our point is that everyone is going through something, right? And we want to talk about like, what's your game plan? What's your escape plan to get out of the funk that you're in, right? So that's kind of our main topic of the show.
But you know that this is interesting, that one thing I need to point out for you guys, for example, in America, you have I would say you have a very capable, very good mental health assistance. Let's say if you want to go to a psychiatrist, a psychologist, if you want therapy, everything is available.
If you have money, no problem.
Yeah,
Okay,
you got
but
the money.
if you have money, okay, but don't you have the what you call the, don't you guys
Healthcare.
have the free healthcare?
There is,
in Canada.
yeah. Well, there are certain programs though. There are certain programs that folks can get free healthcare. I've got it through my employer, luckily, so I'm covered there, and I do get mental health services if I need it. I get a multitude of health services. So if you're employed, normally you're covered, but it depends what type of employment you have.
But I don't want to discuss insurance. I'm talking about the mental health, and this is a issue that's happening in Asia a lot. Is after what we've been through these years, right, with the pandemic and everything, everyone got a toll on the mental health. But even here in China, you cannot find psychologists, psychiatrists, you cannot find anything. The mental health issue is still a taboo. It's like, oh, I feel depression, honestly, you need to work more, or drink more hot water, or something like that. They will not address these, because in some cultures, if for example a man goes to a doctor and say that he's suffering from depression, it will be looked upon like, this guy is weak, he's not capable of handling his stuff, and now he's
Well,
so I think many people here, they will not address this stuff because they are afraid of what others will think, and I think it's completely different, the Western world and Asia world.
I don't know that it's like so different though, Bretta, because yes, we have more access to mental health services here. Yes, it is a little bit more, there's less taboo to talk about those issues, but I think that there still is taboo, and there still are, I will say, like, people in my family, even my parents, if we talk to them about like, oh, you should go talk to a therapist, that is like a no-no. For an older generation, It's like, why? There's nothing wrong with me. And so there is that taboo that, again, I think that's one of the aims of this show. We're no psychiatrists or psychologists, but it's just like, hey, let's just talk about these things openly, because everyone's going through shit and everyone has, a story to tell, and we can help each other by talking about it. What's your thoughts, Ty?
What I was going to say too is just like over where Bretta was talking about, like here, one of the things you have to get over is that stigma of, like, as a person of color, to say, hey, I've got something, like, something's bothering me, like, I need help, because it is automatically seen as you're weak, you're not a man or whatever, like, just suck it up. What's the big deal? There's nothing wrong with you. That's what I was raised as. Like, I'm 55 and I just found out about ADHD like last year, because that stuff is looked down upon. Like, if you start saying, hey, I've got some problems, I'm feeling down, I'm feeling depressed, it's like, what are you being depressed about? Like, be a man, Like, my mother suffers from mental illness, and like, she was like, it's like looked upon differently. It's like, oh, that's the person when you have mental problems, they just ship you off somewhere. You don't talk about it. Like my family didn't talk about it. They were like, oh, well, she's got to go to the hospital for a while. That's, or as they would say, forgive me, like the nut house. That's what they would call it. Like she's in the nut house. You didn't want to be a part of that. You admitted that something is wrong, is bad. So, you never talk about it. And so even though we have the resources, it's not looked upon. Like if you start taking advantage of it, you're looked down upon. And that's like on this show, we're trying to show like, hey, that's not the thing. It's okay. It doesn't make Marco less of a man, me less of a man, you, Bretta, like anyone. We all have issues. That's just a part of life. And to say that you don't, you're just lying.
Absolutely. And I will say, like, I think the nice thing about having a community that you could talk about these things with is sometimes you could get that tough love sometimes that you need, right? Sometimes you are in a funk and you're throwing yourself a pity party, and you could have a community be like, hey, let's figure this out, and let's figure out a game plan to get out of it. And that tough love is sometimes it's needed and sometimes it's not needed. Sometimes you do need to throw that pity party and get your shit together and take the space that you need. So,
and many people will tell you, even doctors will tell you, that this kind of obsession or this kind of stuff we have with collecting sometimes is a escape, a way of escaping problems that we have. And you just go into collecting and obsess about these things just as a form of a escape.
Yeah, that's no doubt about it. And honestly, like this, I found this hobby during the pandemic. It was such a great escape from all the craziness that was going on in the world. And it continues to this day to be that escape. I will say that there's pitfalls in the hobby though too, right? Because it could become a stressor financially, in terms of your space, in terms of dealing with people in the community, right? So like it could easily go from your escape to something that's causing you more problems. So just, I don't know, everything's a balance, right? Yeah. So let's talk about that though, in terms of escape. Like, Ty, I'll let you start first. How do you use your collection to escape? Like to find a safe space, to get out of whatever, for lack of a better word, I'm just going to say funk, whatever funk you're in. How do you use collecting? And that could be 3D printing. That could be whatever you want it to be. How do you use it to get an escape?
Like, 3D printing is definitely something that I use, like creating things like that throne and posing the figures with that, changing my display up. Like, I unpacked my very last Detolf and assembled it the other day and kind of created a Batman Detolf with all my Batman stuff. It lets me stop thinking about whatever may have been troubling me. Like even last week, all these releases were driving me crazy because I'm like, oh, I want everything and I can't have everything.
Shit,
and instead of that, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to focus on what I do have and let me have fun with that. And I started reorganizing stuff, started, getting things together, thinking about how I want to lay this stuff out. And it helped me escape. It was therapeutic. It's very soothing because I'm just looking at the figures. They also make me think of the things that they're from, and that brings back good memories. And I start feeling better about everything, so it's very therapeutic.
Heck yeah.
That's how I escape.
Bretta, all right, I love that. I want to go to you next, but let me read this comment from X-Man Supreme. I read The Psychology of Wolverine, and I was damn near in tears at times. I've always identified heavily with that character for several reasons, and I saw a lot of my own issues in that book. And I think that's like a really beautiful thing about media, right? It's like if you're reading something, watching something, it could be cathartic, and you could see a lot of parallels to your life or things that you never really fully understood about yourself. One movie that I was just watching that like had me tearing up. All right, this is gonna. Bretta's like, I'm out of here. It was the movie The Sandlot, and like just a silly kids movie that for me, I grew up on it. But Benny the Jet is like the main character, right? You familiar with this movie, Ty?
Which movie? Which movie?
I'm familiar with the title.
It's called The Sandlot. Have you seen this,
I
Bretta?
know of it. I have not seen it.
Sandlock.
Sandlot. So it's like kids in the 50s. It's a modern movie, but it's kids in the 50s and they play baseball together. And the main character is this guy who's just he's a dork, for lack of a better term. And the cool kid in the neighborhood is, I think he's like Puerto Rican. This Puerto Rican kid, like everyone else is making fun of this kid, and the Puerto Rican kid like comes and recruits him and like, hey, makes him a part of the gang. And I was like, that as a kid, I saw that and I was like, that's a really cool thing to do, to be inclusive with somebody that maybe was different from him, but he was like, hey, like, you know what? We have the same passion. I'm going to teach you to play baseball. And I always thought that was cool. So let's see. Equan is saying it was either collecting or use that money on hard drugs. I tell my wife that she's lucky. I'm a professional collector. Equan, totally. We could be doing much worse things here.
Oh yeah.
MB Dyson. Go ahead, Ty.
One last thing, like just going back to the comment about the Wolverine and how that affects him, X-Man Supreme. That's how it is with me and Batman. Like that's why he's like my favorite. You know, I don't have the money that Bruce Wayne does, but like that childhood trauma and things like I've just once I've realized that after growing up with 66 Batman and Super Friends Batman and all that, seeing like in the comics what he really was just has drawn me to him ever since. And that was because of the Keaton movie was coming out, and it made me take a look at Batman. You know, I'm like, wait, what's this? He doesn't look like the Adam West or the Super Friends guy. What's going on with him? And that changed everything. And like I've always been drawn to him ever since.
Love that. And if we hear that you're going out at night and beating up bad guys, we're gonna.
Oh, I do that.
Okay.
I just don't have the money. You know, you saw I had to print out a new cowl. You know, you saw that.
That's awesome. We got MB Dyson in the house. What up, Ty, Bretta, and Marco? Hey, MB Dyson, thanks so
Hey,
much for
MB Dyson.
joining. And really quickly want to say, Sith Scale Collector, haven't seen The Sandlot. Oh, that hurts my soul. And all I have to say to that
there's
is,
a lot that's going to hurt him.
you're killing me, Smalls.
See, I know that line. That's what that's
you
from.
know that line. If you guys haven't seen The Sandlot, though, it's just such a goofy, fun movie. I'd say like the first half where it's just the kids roaming around the neighborhood, fucking around. Just great. Just a goated film. So Bretta, tell us about how you use like collecting and this hobby to escape.
Actually, it's interesting because when I start collecting, not 1/6L, but basically 1/12, also, well, I was collecting before, but when I came to China, maybe in the beginning I remember my son was just born, and I didn't have many friends here at the moment, at that time. And yeah, I use collecting as a way of having some personal space and enjoying something like that, and kind of evolved through that. And I made a lot of friends here with collecting. And I at this moment I don't find it more as a escape. I just treat it as one more hobby, because I play soccer, I bike, I like to a lot to watch movies, TV shows. Everything is an escape of these things, right?
Yeah.
But in the last years, I try the most to spend less time on screens and more time doing outside stuff, because always on screens, always watching TV, always watching movies, that also kind of screws up with you a bit, because you are always being pumped out with new stuff, and season 1, season 2, season 3, and the expectation for the new episode, and everything is giving out to you. You don't have time now to enjoy a movie, because there is always a new one coming. There is always a new series coming. It's difficult for you to if you want to say now, if I want a resume of your last 3 movies, it's difficult for you to remember, because the last 3 movies, maybe you already forgot the third one.
Yeah, it's so disposable. You're just churning content all the time.
Now everything is very disposable. So I think in some way, this hot toys collecting, this figure collecting, makes the stuff less disposable, because you want to keep them, and you want to treat them as a something. I don't want to say the wrong word, but like you have a museum of your
Yeah.
of the stuff you like, right? And you
Absolutely.
like to have them beside cabinets, treat them well, and everything like that. And this is also a way, and you will learn in the future. This is also a way for you to teach your kids how to take care of things, because they see
Okay.
the way you take care of of your collection, the way it's always clean and everything. And I see my son repeating a lot of this stuff. He's always want to have this stuff clean and everything. We are going now through a very difficult time because the Legos. Yesterday I said this on Collectors Unite. My son has around 28 or 29 Lego sets, but most of them are big. Since he was 3-4 years old, I started
Does
to
he have
buy
like
him
the
Legos.
Barcelona Stadium and stuff like that?
Jeez.
No, but he has the tumblers, he has the big pirates boat and everything. But what happened was, he with the friends, because he was too young, they dismantled everything. Everything was assembled, and now I have a huge box with scattered pieces of Lego. And I sent the photo to Brick, because Brick is the Lego.
Yeah.
And he told me, you only have an option. You still have the manuals? And I said, yeah. I show him the manuals, 32 manuals. And he told me, okay, what you are going to do is divide everything by color first. Divide
gosh.
all pieces by color first. And then from there you can start. But he told me it's a very difficult task. This will take months to complete. But it's something that I want to achieve, because these Legos are expensive, and it's so many Legos. I want to assemble all of that. So yeah. But one thing I want to tell you, because you are talking about mental health, and was a book that helped me a lot. I always like to bring books to the streams, and people always feel
Yeah.
very annoying. But
No, I love
if you never read this book,
me see, let me put
the
you
book
on.
name is Man's Search for Meaning.
Oh wow. Okay.
This book, I think everyone should read this book, because this is a true story of a person that he lived in a Nazi concentration camp. But even they were living in that situation, he was still trying to find meaning for his life and
Yeah.
find a purpose for the life. And this book, it's amazing. I'm sure the book is very thin. It's not a huge book.
That's a quick
And
read. Okay.
if you read this, you will really love this book.
Man's
it's-
Search
it's a
for
really good
Meaning.
book.
Was that the title?
Man's Search for Meaning. Yes.
Okay.
This is already 75 years in print. This
Whoa.
book.
Okay.
Wow.
I've actually not heard of this one. All right.
This is not a new book.
I'll add this to the list after Secret Wars. We got to diversify.
I always saying the audiobooks is where it's at. I cannot go into audiobooks. I don't know why. I always fall asleep because the
Oh, no.
voices are so nice. I always fall asleep.
I like podcasts so much that I feel like if I'm going to read something, I got to just
yeah.
actually read it instead of doing the audiobook.
I love
Mike's saying
podcasts.
he'll definitely check it
I
out.
like
So,
audiobooks.
well, yeah, thank you for that recommendation. Bretta, you touched on something that was really important though, in terms of like diversifying what you do. You go to play soccer, you like to, do a lot of diverse things, but also just getting outside. And I haven't been like a
very
big
important.
outdoor person my entire life. I have really bad allergies. And so as a kid, I would always I'd play sports, but then I would just I'd want to go play video games. And during the pandemic, we started walking and just taking Pancake on a walk. And now I have to go on a walk at least 30 minutes to an hour almost every day, because I just got to go out and get that sunshine, get that fresh air. And it is really important to just go refresh and get away from everything. And the collecting can be that escape, but it can't be your only escape. So I appreciate you saying.
But you know that if you go outside, when you do sports, when you exercise, your body releases, what's it called?
Endorphins.
Endorphins, and that helps a lot. At least it's what I think it's been proven already. I know, Six Scale Collector. When I turn into the real me, I'm a very boring person. But
No, we love this, Bretta. You haven't told anyone, you haven't given anyone any sass in a long time, and it's throwing me off too. Really quickly, want to
Exactly.
shout out my friend Baby Boy. We were supposed to go to see Deadpool Wolverine tonight, so let us know how the review is. And gonna really bummed that we're not gonna be watching it with you, but yeah, going to take Gigi on Wednesday to go watch it. So we got Jazzy in the house. What up, boys? Jazzy, we
Hey,
missed
Jazzy,
each other at
what's up?
Comic-Con. He did make it into Hall H, but the day that we were supposed to meet up, he was with the group that was with Calvin that were waiting outside while I was the only person inside. Like, my phone was at 4%. Like I said, I had no water. They won't let you leave to use they have a restroom in there. So yeah, it was quite the experience. But Jazzy, thanks for popping in. Really quickly, X-Men is saying, yeah, I think a collector's psych stream is a great idea. Okay. All right. Yeah. We need to bring more people from the community. If anyone's interested in, coming on here, sharing your experience, reach out to one of us and would love
And
to
I'm
have you
saying,
on here.
yeah, the stream is not even mine. And I
Oh,
said,
Bretta, yeah, it is. No, Bretta,
come on, you can come
Bretta is part of the family.
But I also have started. I told you the other day, Marco. Me and my son are working out too to help the whole mental health and just because you feel better physically, you're gonna feel better mentally. So that's something we've dedicated ourselves to doing now too. So you have the escape of the figures, but like you two were saying, you need more than that, and that physical activity does make you feel better.
Yeah.
He
No, Ty.
does, he does.
That's such an important part, honestly. And so since I've been like under the weather after Comic-Con, obviously I have COVID now. We know. Like I'm looking forward to that next workout to kind of get myself out of this funk. And one other thing I wanted to mention, and we can dive into it deeper because I want to get back to some figure talk, is a to-do list. So I feel like once I'm, out of like being sick and once I'm not testing positive, like I'm just going to make a fat to-do list. And it feels so good to check off things. And I'll put like even stupid little tasks, like unload the dishwasher, put it on there, and then crossing it out just gives you like a rush of like, okay, I got one thing down, and it kind of starts building upon each other. So I do like to do those. Big Dog Pound is saying, I agree with Bretta. You definitely need to go outside and smell the roses sometimes and get recharged by the sun, getting your vitamin D and get your exercise on. Yeah, it's so important, and it is tough sometimes to do, right? To pull yourself off of whatever you're doing, but it's so important.
But once you start exercising, I believe that the first times, if you are not used to, you will feel boring. But once you create that routine, once it becomes a habit for you, you will. That's when you start to feel better. I play soccer now 4 times per week.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay. You probably lost a lot of weight since you've been doing that too, huh?
No, but I also eat a lot.
Yeah, it's all
I am
damage
the kind of
control. That's
person-
me.
I am the kind of person that I do more sport so I can eat what I like.
Yeah, why else would you do
There
more
you go.
sports?
But I love soccer. But I go the extra mile to for example, the soccer place where I am, right? Where we play. It's around 10 kilometers from my home.
Okay.
I could drive there, but I cycle there. I cycle 10 kilometers to go and 10 kilometers to back. Okay, on the way back, I'm basically dead. One day I will fall into the river. I don't know because I cannot feel my legs. But
Oh, but
It's
you
the
offset
extra
what
mile.
you're gonna. Yeah, I love that though. Yeah, when Gigi and I travel, we love to just walk everywhere because we're just gonna eat like shit this entire time. But at least if we walk wherever we're going, then we offset it a little bit. So Jose is saying Benny the Jet is not the main character of the Sandlot. Hashtag fact check. He's the main character of their group, but you're right. He's not the main character of the movie. So you're right
I
there,
need to see
Jose.
that movie, Sandlot.
It's
okay.
it's a fun movie. Definitely watch it for a good time. Moose Stream is saying I go outside to get figures out of my storage. There you go. That's
I
a
did
start.
that
Moose.
today. I did that today. 93 degrees out there.
Oh, hey, you know what? That's nothing compared to what it's been over here.
I'll take that over what you guys have been dealing with over there. Although
But you both have humidity though, so we don't have humidity like that over here. So
It's nasty. It's so
I'm
nasty.
even afraid to see, but I guess today should be around the 90s. Let me see. It's sunny outside, sunny, clear sky, but the humidity is at 74%. So
dang,
it's low. It's low.
that's low. Oh my
74%
gosh! All right.
Is your 50s, your 40s.
Oh
low.
man, that's brutal.
Air
Christian
quality
Lopez
alert.
oh, just too much. Christian Lopez is saying, well, I just went to a bakery to get a Parisian chocolate cake. Love
There
it.
you go.
That's awesome. Gigi is saying, yes, sometimes I add it to the list after I've done it and cross it off. Something about crossing it off. I know, and I haven't done one of those in a long time, but like when I'm feeling extra behind on stuff, I really do need to do that to-do list. Jazzy's asking, whose channel is LW on tonight? P-Rock's channel
Mario.
tonight, right? Oh, it's Mario.
It's not Mario?
Okay.
Mario.
Let's see.
Mario channel.
Let me verify. Sorry about that. Spreading fake news over here.
Oh no.
It is. I know.
It's Mario.
12-inch
me.
move stream, 12-inch. My storage is climate control. Like it's actually a storage unit. Thankfully.
Thank goodness. All right. Yeah, it is on Mario's channel tonight. So apologies for the fake news, but yeah, that'll be in about an hour from now. So it's going to be a good time. Hopefully my voice will hold up that whole time. Let's see. All right, so let's get a little bit more figure talk. So we're talking about stress, anxiety. Not to make light of anything, but my goodness, Hot Toys has been going wild
Stressful.
with the
It's stressful.
artisan, with the exclusives. Brett, I want to start with you because obviously you're not getting your figures from Sideshow. What has this process been like in terms of you determining whether you're going to get any of these exclusives? Does it change how you order your figures over there? And which ones did you get over the last 2 weeks?
Doesn't change much. I think here it's harder to get on because we have the same system. Hot Toys is on Hot Toys website. They open the pre-sale, but for example, they will give priority depending what is your status as a buyer. For example, if you are a platinum or if you are golden or if you are a silver, they will give priority. You understand?
I know people are calling for that for Sideshow. They want that priority if like they've bought enough figures.
They give priority for that, and but most of the times it's always the stores that get the stock, because the people here are not very keen into going into pre-order in a rush, so normally people wait for stock. But for this Black Widow, because the rooted one was how many pieces? 4,000?
Yeah, I think 4,000 for the special edition, 2,000 for the one without the Iron Man gauntlet.
And other thing is that what I've noticed since the InArt Joker, it's many Chinese collectors, especially the more experienced ones, they would get the sculpted, and they don't mind paying the extra to send to a custom, and then he will remove the hair and root it by himself.
Oh wow, okay, they'd rather just pay for the highest
because
quality.
Even if they buy the rooted from InArt, they always change. They are never satisfied. They will always send the rooted hair to customize even further and to make it better.
I didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
They do a lot of that here. And it's not expensive to do. There are more than 50 or 60 people doing the routing stuff here.
Oh wow!
And
okay.
Even they sell overseas, but they also have marketeers, so they are always doing listings. For example, I have how many time now I can make ads, and they are always busy doing stuff. So people are always going into that. But I didn't see many hype on these figures, to be honest. The one I think the hype was bigger was still with the Iron Man stuff. They really go crazy with Iron Man.
Really?
Stuff.
Okay, so that Iron Man,
Yeah.
even though it's Iron Man 3, they were still going wild for it.
Yeah, and I see also many people now, many collectors going into getting the Iron Man, the older versions, because the older versions, they are still good, but they are going for a lower price, and they are getting the older versions of Iron Man because of that. The Tom Holland, I think, was also good here, but apart from that,
So they're not Spider-Man'd out over there either.
No, Tom Holland is a Spider-Man that is loved here, and Deadpool. Everyone is going crazy about Deadpool. Of course, Deadpool has been a huge hit here in the cinemas. Everyone is talking about it, especially because it's one of the first times that the R-rated movie was not cut a lot. The only part that was cut here, and I only understood afterwards, is apparently there is some part on a church that I even didn't know. Is there any part on the movie that
I'm
happens
trying to
in a
think
church?
a part in a church. Okay.
All right, now let's
You know?
let's take it easy. No,
So-
I don't.
so
I haven't seen it
that's-
yet.
You don't want to talk about spoilers after whoever wants to
Ty-
go to
Ty
watch the
hasn't
movie
seen it
already
yet,
have
yeah.
time. Oh, you haven't seen it. Okay,
No.
I'm so sorry. You could
But,
do
uh,
like Zach. Zach, watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
no,
Dean
I want.
as well.
I want to
yeah.
see the full. I'm a snob. I got to see the
Okay.
full HD, the full 4K.
This was like a 1080p copy that leaked, though. I heard Bretta's voice in the background and his cam shaking a little bit. So, but yeah.
No, but
so that was the
even
only
at
part that got cut.
1080p, even at 1080p was someone in the cinema doing the video, right?
Yeah,
Nah,
it seemed like it.
I don't
Seemed
want
like
to watch a movie like that. It's crappy.
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
The audio, the sound must be horrible.
it. Yeah. I like the highest quality. I like the HDR.
Even the
I want
color
the-
will not be correct. That's why Zach
I'm
was
watching
complaining about the suit colors.
on
Because
my
he saw
OLED.
he saw
That's
it
why
in
I
the
got that
different-
OLED, so I could see it.
You gotta get that OLED. So Bretta, so have you've already gone to see it over there because it's like an original copy, yeah?
Yeah, I already saw last week. Amazing. But what I want to say is about Deadpool, because it was released here, some pieces, right? Already released. There are plenty on stock that you can buy, but not retail. Over retail. But there are plenty of them to sell. I see listings every day. People selling the Deadpool.
Yeah, that
So-
seemed like a really popular figure to
Yeah.
import over here. Because that
Ladypool,
first
no, I
sideshow, I
don't
think,
want.
had their yeah. Ladypool, I mean, yeah, Ladypool just seems like a big nothing. This couch, I know people want. They're speculating Kidpool is going to come with it, but so no Deadpool for you, right? No Ladypool.
No, I pre-order Deadpool.
Oh, okay. So yes, Deadpool.
but,
You went
um,
exclusive.
No, I went with the standard version because for me the only thing I would really want are the golden
Yeah.
guns, but those ones I'm sure in a few weeks people are going to par out the accessories here in the second market, and I can get the guns only in the secondary market because I pre-ordered Wolverine, not the naked body, the seamless body.
Okay, not
one,
the TVA
first
version.
one. I pre-ordered the first one and the Deadpool, and I think it will be enough for me. I don't need Kidpool as well and Ladypool. I don't think I need those. They may come in. Now I'm going to do a Marco. They may come into the collection in the future if the price is heavily discounted or something.
You're
like
sitting
that.
on that fence, huh? All right, I like to see it.
If they are cheap, maybe I can add them, but not a priority.
Yeah, I have a feeling after the next wave of movies, people are going to forget about this, and yeah, these will all be kicked around because with Doom on the way, with Secret Wars on the way, they're going to make so much fucking Marvel. This is
Which
going to
one
be
on the
just
way?
Avengers, Doomsday, and then Secret Wars.
Okay, I thought
Right.
you were talking about Dune.
Oh, sorry, I know. It's the congestion. For
It's
once,
the
Bretta can
Rona.
make fun of the way I talk. I like to see it.
Exactly.
It's the Rona.
Oh man!
But do you
so-
remember when was Dune 2, the movie? In that first month after the movie, everyone was crazy talking about the InArt Dune. Everyone wanted to pull the 3Ds. No one is
Forgotten.
talking more about that. That
Not
is
even Christian.
gone completely. Now is that not even Christian? He even bought the books. I think he never read any of those books.
You probably read 20
And,
pages like I do.
Now we are on Deadpool, and next month we'll be in another thing, because this stuff just goes out so fast, just spreads into thin air so fast that
You're right.
it's just what it is. That's why you need to be very selective in what you pre-order. Just pre-order really what you want, not with the hype, because the
Bingo.
hype will die very fast, very very fast.
And we know
Bingo.
Hot Toys is probably not slowing down. They showed the Terminator, they showed the Predator, we got Chewbacca, maybe Returns Batman. Like there's just so much that they're just threatening us with, right? I think those are already on Sideshow's coming soon page as well. So I would say in the coming weeks we could probably expect a bunch more pre-orders, which is scary. So, okay, so Bretta, just tell us over the last 2 weeks, which ones did you definitely get? So you said you got Deadpool, you passed on
Wolverine.
Widow, right? Wolverine, okay.
Yeah, pass on Widow, Wolverine. I got the Vader, the deluxe version.
The Deluxe Vader, okay.
I pre-ordered with Kit, but Kit told me that the info he has for that Vader deluxe version he got from the distributor from Hot Toys is that he probably only have the stock in 2026. And I told him no problem.
Wow.
What?
Yeah,
Damn.
he told me 2026 for
Holy
that
shit,
deluxe Vader.
We're going to be waiting.
And I pre-order Grievous too.
Mm.
Grievous, the Vader, Deadpool, Wolverine. Yeah.
No Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, no, I will tell you why. Because the Spider-Man, all the Spider-Man here, they always go on discount.
Okay.
All the suits, they always go on discount. So I rather wait because I had the Iron Spider before, the Infinity War. And I got rid of it. I'm still thinking if I ever want to do any Marvel again, so I'm not in a rush.
Okay. All right. That's fair, yeah. So are you feeling overwhelmed though by the number of Hot Toys announcements? Because I know I am. Like they just
The
have
announcements,
dropped
no.
so
I'm
much.
feeling overwhelmed and afraid of the releases.
Shit, that
Because
too.
Both. I think I'm going to be. I think it's going to be Aragorn, Ron from InArt at the same time, and then Thrawn, Vader, Jedi, Return of the Jedi, and the Dewback will come soon too. And
Dewback, yeah.
it's a lot of stuff, and then the DeLorean Mark III, and it's a lot of stuff, especially because the Ahsoka line is also almost ready to come, slowly coming. Then the Mandalorian season 3, because that Moff Gideon is already in the coming soon.
That's
I
right.
need to pay the Praetorian Guard, so I'm more worried about releases than the announcements. My worriness now is the releases because I don't like to have to pay 3-4 invoices in 1 week. That's the worst thing that can happen.
It's scary times right now. That's a good point. So they're kind of hitting us on both fronts in terms of the releases and the
And
announcements.
that's why, Marco, I had to this year, and even from last half from last year, I had to completely stop pre-ordering third parties because, or else I could not keep up.
Wow, yeah,
Because
yeah.
because then it will be too much money. I could not pre-order every third party like before.
And it feels very intentional, right? Like they don't want you to have capacity to even think about the InArt or J&D or third party. They're like, you're giving us your money and that's it, right?
Especially because the third party companies, they start to get smart and they raise the prices a lot. Before they were 140, 150. Now it's difficult to find one below 180, or sometimes they even go over 200. So I said, no, I cannot keep up with these because it's too much money. I have two childs to take care too.
Yeah, you got other responsibilities beyond just figures. So Ty, I'm going to get to you in just a second, but let me read this comment from Mojo. I got into this hobby because of my love for the MCU and found myself leaning into Star Wars, but I can't collect both of them, so I'm heading back to Marvel. Wow, okay, interesting. Yeah, that's how I got in first. I was Marvel
Mojo,
first.
You will always go back to what
Star Wars.
to what no you will always go back for the thing that you loved first, even if you will deviate in the end, then you will regret and then you will back to what brought you in the beginning. It happened to me. I sold almost all my Infinity War and Endgame stuff because I didn't have many and I lost a lot of money selling that. I already forgot the money I lost on that.
Ah, that's brutal. But yeah, no, I've always been consistently collecting Marvel, even, as it wasn't in
collect everything.
fashion. I do,
Collect
unfortunately.
Marvel, DC, Star Wars, NBA.
All the
You
stuff.
collect everything.
All the shit. Ty, how about you, man? Looks like he's either frozen or asleep. We don't know which one.
He's asleep.
Okay, all right, we'll let him be. He's had a long day. So, so Ty, we'll come back to you. I'm gonna remove him for the stream because I think he's frozen actually. But
Oh, he's frozen. I suppose he was really sleeping.
no, I think he's frozen. That's funny though. It looked like he was asleep. So let's talk really quickly about. All right, so the figures that I got this week: Artisan, Imposter, Joker. Did you end up going down that route, Bretta?
I
What
also
happened
have
with
that
it?
one. I forgot. I also have that one. But that one is not certain. It depends if Kit has any chance to get him or not, because Kit opened the pre-orders on his store, and it depends how many he will get and if I can get one or not. So I really want that one, really.
That one came out beautifully, honestly. I know you and I were talking about like people were crapping on it, but the head sculpt, and I think you maybe shared with me a picture of someone putting that sculpt on the InArt body. And I'm
Everyone
not
is
saying that
doing
I would do
here in
that.
China.
Okay,
Everyone
all
is
right.
doing that here in China.
I might not necessarily do that, but I might mess around with it just to see how it looks. But because that imposter Joker will look cool even with a sculpted hair version. Like it'll be awesome regardless. But man, that head sculpt just came out. I was
You know
very
what was my
cautious.
idea?
Yeah. Tell me.
One of my ideas was just idea. Take the head sculpt of the imposter, the Batman imposter, use it on my bank robber,
Okay.
Joker, and because I have an extra armory for Batman, was to have that painted like the imposter Joker and have the suit on that armory.
I love that, honestly.
And
I would
then
say
buy
even
a tumbler and paint it with the Batman imposter colors.
that's what I was going to say. And actually, that would look so cool. Only because the Tumbler is such a basic paint job as it is. Like, that would really take it to the next level, honestly. Well, I hope
Seems
you
to
do
wake
that.
up. Oh,
All
no,
right.
doing-
He's awake
see-
now, and he's.
This is where secret base, right?
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Huh?
Yeah. All right. All right, Ty, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I can't see me.
You are
though.
behind the green
Yeah.
screen.
You're in the void.
There's
You
no
are behind
green
the
screen.
Your
It's
your
all through
virtual
the
background
computer.
is all we can see.
Okay, yeah, I had to redo the camera here. There we go.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Let me check in with the chat really quick. But Ty,
Piece
welcome
of
back.
tra-
We
I
thought you
hate
fell asleep.
Windows. I
We thought
hate
you fell
Windows.
asleep. It was perfect because it looked like you were asleep, but I was like, no, he's too perfectly still. He's definitely frozen.
Yeah, you two froze, and then I was like, wait a minute. And
yeah,
then
this is me.
I was like, uh-oh. And next thing you know, boop.
Holy shit. So X-Men Supreme is saying, I ordered the Batman Deluxe and the matching Jazz Inc. Batmobile and said that'll be a nice conversation piece in the living room. Well, that's all for me. Damn full. Wow. Love that. Let's see. Mojo is saying, I mean, I could still cherry pick from Star Wars. Yeah, especially OT. MB Dyson is saying, my focus is different this year. I'm picking up all the Batman and DC stuff coming. I just got the Saturn Toys 66 set and the Batman Forever Batman and Robin. No room in the budget for all the other stuff. Yeah, that's a lot of things. So you definitely gotta pick and choose. Mike is saying Bretta kicked Ty off his own stream.
Damn, bro.
Jazzy is saying I'm still in the armory idea. Yeah, the armory and tumbler idea. I kind of love that, honestly. Gigi would kill me, but I like the weird stuff. And like we were talking about last time, it would totally be in the character of the Joker if we saw him come back in the Nolan trilogy, right? Obviously, rest in peace, Heath Ledger. But he totally would have done some weird stuff like that, like still Batman's suit, spray paint it. He would have totally made a weird tumbler. So totally headcanon there for me. All right, so Ty, did you pick up any of the exclusives at all this week? I know you've been talking about being more disciplined, obviously
Right.
trying to be less stressed out about all the stuff coming in. A lot of exclusive announced. Did you try for any of them? What was your experience? Did you get any
geez,
of them
look
at
at
all?
this.
You're good.
I did. So I had to make some strategic choices, and this is still bothering me. All right, there we go.
All right, you're good.
Okay.
You're locked in.
There, I'm locked in. I'm good to go. Locked and loaded. So, again, it was like stressing me out at first because I'm like, man, I want all this stuff, and then I, stepped back and thought about it, like, what do I truly love? and I saw the Black Widow, and she was really calling to me. And I think I told you that my very first Hot Toys was the Civil War Black Widow. I decided like I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna see what it was because it was only like $140 at Sideshow. So let me see. And I was like, oh, okay, these things are decent. Obviously, she was not the best choice looking back now.
That's a rough first choice, but you're stepping up from Barbies, right? Was what you were
exactly. The costume was good, and then I went on from there and and got some other stuff, but so I had to make that choice again. Like I got Wolverine, not the half naked one. I got the Wolverine, and the reason why I have not seen Deadpool 3 yet is because I'm looking at the budget and letting the budget dictate. Like if I want these figures, I'm gonna have to wait on something. So I wanted Deadpool. So Deadpool, I'm gonna wait, and it was either go watch the movie or order the figure. And I got through on the queue, so I said, all right. Because I know me, I'm gonna end up buying that movie because I want to see the behind the scenes stuff and everything. And right now, freaking for me and my son, it's like $40 with no snacks or anything. Just $40 to go see it at the matinee. And I'm like, okay, that $40 is the NRD on Deadpool. And so I used that money for Deadpool. I used it for Black Widow. I had just done the C-3PO. There's somebody else. What else came out? There's so many.
The Spider-Man was announced. Scorch was announced.
Yeah, I'm done. Like Scorch.
The Joker from the Joaquin Phoenix Joker. They had the artisan version of that.
It looks really good, and I was just like, but like you said, he's not my Joker. So as great as he looked, and I got in the queue. Like I haven't had any troubles in the queue for some reason. All of a sudden, like I clicked it, it's like, oh, you're next. And I looked, I saw the pricing. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm good. Like I wasn't gonna really get him anyway. But what was it, $460 for the artist?
$460, yeah.
$460.
And so on that one and the Heath Ledger single pack Joker, not the imposter, it does feel like Hot Toys reverse engineered their price to be like, hey, we're just going to be half the price of InArt. You're already paying this price for 2 figures. We're going to give you 1 figure and we're going to charge you half the price because it's like almost exactly half the price of those figures. So it does feel inflated. It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm done. Right. I was, I didn't get him. I did not. I liked the Vader, the battle damage, but again, I had to make some choices. Yeah. I have the Obi-Wan one and he's got battle damage and I'm very happy with him. So I was like, if he's around at some other point, maybe down the line, I'll pick him up. If not, then so be it. It was like him or Black Widow and Deadpool and Wolverine. Those are the ones I went with. Spidey, no. Iron Man, no. I do want that
Scorch. You
Chewbacca though. I
hate
need a
Scorch.
Chewbacca.
You hate
I
his
don't
bobblehead.
hate Scorch. I don't hate him. It's just he does not speak to me. Like I don't like them. I don't know why.
So Ty, I'm not going to say everything that I got because Gigi might be in there and she's got spies. We'll sort that out in terms of taxes when we get there. But I got a little bit more than I'm happy to admit. But I think I've got a game plan. Use payment plans. Use PayPal Pay in 4. I will pay off figures early if I need to. So I've got my strategy. I've got a little bit more on my plate than I would have wanted, but I'm feeling good about where it's at right now. But I will say, I jumped in every queue from last week to this week, either to get the figure or to help someone out or to just see what's up. And you can they were all easy wins, honestly. I think the Widow was the one that had the most trouble. But even then, you could get her if you were Johnny on the spot and you just were persistent with trying to get it. So I am wondering if Hot Toys is overdoing the exclusives. How are you guys feeling about that? And Brett, I'm curious, what's your pulse on the community? I feel like they've just kind of gone way too far into the exclusives and people maybe are getting burnt out. I think that they're selling now, but I think that if they keep pushing it like this, if they did like the Chewbacca and the Terminator like this, I don't know that it's sustainable. What's your thought?
But this what was what we were asking 1 year or 2 years ago. We were asking for this because we were tired of seeing everything being overproduced and then the lose the market value and everything. So Hot Toys response at this moment is this is the way they are attacking the market, trying to fight InArt, trying to fight any other not giving you any spare change to spend on other companies. And they are trying to cover that. They are trying to basically it's a risky bet for them. They are trying to gain back the market that during COVID they kind of lost because people stopped pre-ordering stuff, right? Because everyone was stopped pre-ordering it in China. No people were pre-ordering anything because we knew that once released it would drop in price in 2 or 3 weeks. So now they are trying to get back on track and having people pre-order in the giving FOMO. The FOMO now is everywhere, but not everyone is falling for that trap. Some people are just okay in playing the waiting game.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think
Playing
that's the waiting game is smart. And here's
Yeah,
the one where I think that people may have gotten burnt, and I am calling for a recall of this item. I think that the way that it came out, so obviously this is a blogger photo. This is a blogger photo, but you know, you're seeing reviews, you're seeing early in hands. The light doesn't even go up to his head. So it's false advertising.
Seriously?
I think that this,
No,
it doesn't go up to his head.
But after I studied this a bit, after that, after my study and after my research, his robes, the cape, the robes are transparent, okay? But the head is actually painted. Is a painted head in white.
Okay, that's how they got all the detail.
There was no way the light would pass through the head because that's a normal head. I saw a photo on 16 Republic that you see all the body is lighten up and the head is completely black. But I saw I saw a review on YouTube, and actually the guy when showing that on a review doesn't look that bad. But I think people were with the impression that it was all translucent and it will all lighten up. But the thing is that the head is a real head sculpt painted. It's not translucent. It's a real head sculpt.
Yeah.
That would be hard to do, like to actually paint.
Even here, this is the prototype, the announcement, right?
These are the blogger
The head-
photos, I believe. Yeah.
The head is not lighting up.
It's true. It's true.
But the light that you see here is way more brighter than in
Way
reality.
brighter.
But Hot Toys always do this, even with the lightsabers. The lightsabers are
Yeah.
not even 20% of what they in fact light up. But yeah, this is a disappointment. Even without lighting, it's still a disappointment.
Yeah, it's just not. I don't think it's an acceptable product for $150. And I guess the shitty part is because they did it
150.
as an exclusive, like they already have people's money at this point, right? They're already like pot committed a lot of people to order this. Yeah, you could cancel and just like say, okay, you eat my NRD. But yeah, I think like this is the danger of doing this exclusive game. If you're not going to deliver on all the products, then you kind of have committed everyone to be like, all right, well, I'm getting it regardless. So that's pretty, I don't know, that's a scary thought to me. I don't think this is an acceptable release. Like, look at that. I mean, they're showing like it seems like the light is going all the way, at the very least in his hood. And from all the pictures and reviews that I've seen, that's not very much the case.
But he's not a figure, right? It's just this pose. It's just this.
It's a holographic.
Right.
Darth Maul.
So they could have just made his head out of translucent plastic, and they could have added some paint, but it would have looked more coherent. I mean, this looks silly.
Yeah,
to have his head like that and his body, like he's not a hologram at that point. It's like, what the hell is this thing?
The body's a hologram at the least, but
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
that'd be my message to him. It's like
the body is hologram.
it's like, hey, Darth, what's going on with your head there, fella? Something's wrong.
yeah. But yeah, this one's frustrating for me. Like it gave me like a gross feeling in my stomach because I'm feeling for people that were excited by this or took the gamble, and then now it's not turning out as it should, or I think as it was advertised. And I do think this is one that, like the Tony Stank head sculpt, there needs to be a program where if you're not happy with it, okay, you can send it in, or you've got a way that you can get your money back if you're not happy with this, because I just don't think it's a very quality product. I think it's subpar.
And I don't know.
Like-
I don't know if we are going to see the exactly same thing with the 89 Batman. If people start to receive that suit, and maybe people will start canceling pre-orders, and no, I don't want this. We don't know.
Yeah,
Is
the community
his suit
seems
that
upset.
shiny too? Like the new Batman, is it that shiny? Because maybe it's going to be like a Batman Begins thing again, where it was like super shiny, and then you had to wait, and you got the one that was duller. Because for some reason, Hot Toys.
I'm already seeing people on Jazz Inc. group asking Jazz Inc. to do, because he's doing the half torso, right?
Yeah,
Fit on the Batmobile. People are already asking him to consider doing a full figure.
I saw that.
Full
I
body.
saw that.
Wow.
A full figure, and because
He's
Hot
very
Toys,
shiny.
they could not and should not mess up this figure. This one, no, this one.
Yeah, this
are
is an
crazy.
important release to a lot of people in the fact that they haven't gotten it exactly right on a 2.0. Okay, if it's the first time you've ever touched this character, fine, but this should be the be all end all.
They still
And
haven't gotten
you
Batman
need to
Begins
consider
right.
how many people pre-order the Hot Toys Batmobile because of considering getting this figure, because this is the convenient piece.
Yeah,
Many people have the Batmobile of the Hot Toys one and are waiting for this Batman.
I'm one of those people. Yeah, that again, like I'm a casual when it comes to this film. Definitely a piece of my childhood, but I don't have that huge connection to the suit. But yeah, the lumps definitely are not what I remember. So
The bumpy night.
yeah, so we'll see how loud the voices in the community are, but it seems like Hot Toys has definitely made a few missteps recently. Jazzy is saying his first Keaton piece. Okay, Jazzy, are you happy with the texture? Is this something that you're not too bothered by? Because I'm hearing, plenty of folks that are saying this isn't good enough.
But some matte sealer would take that shine off of him and dull that down a bit. Like if you just took his cape off and sprayed him with like some matte sealer, that would take that gloss off of him. And
I am not spraying my new
I'm telling you,
$300
Marco,
hot toy.
you just spray them, right? And
Oh,
it'll
man.
seal it, but and if you get rid of that gloss, it gets rid of all that heavy detail too. Like it blends better. It'll look more like rubber if you make it matte.
I hear what you're saying, but never.
Oh, I'm not gonna do it either. I'm just saying.
Jazzy saying what's wrong with it. So Bretta, would you mind zooming in a little bit to the texture just so we can show Jazzy there? And then we're going to be wrapping here in a few.
This still my screen.
Yeah, I think this is your screen. Thank you
No,
for
if
that.
you want to see the texture, must be the other post. The other
Okay, I
post that
can
sh-
pull it up here too.
No, I have here. This one.
Yeah, so OG DX09 on the right, and then the new one here on the left, Jazzy. So just the bumpy texture there, which
Now, let
it's
me
just a
ask you one
weird.
thing. Let me ask
Yeah.
you one thing, okay? Focus on the new one, okay? Are you focusing?
Oh, I'm focused. I'm locked in.
Your mind. But now see this. This was the announcement. Do you think it looks the same?
That looks smooth to me. Can you zoom in a little bit?
Let me see if there is other photo. Okay, this one.
Yeah, there is a little bit of texture there, huh?
but I don't know if he's as much as here. That grainy stuff that appears on the suit.
Yeah, just something about it's off-putting because the smoothness just looks like, I don't know. It seems more film accurate, honestly.
Oh, here you see. Oh my god, this looks horrible. This is the announcement photos. This is no one pointed out when it was announced. Everyone was hyped about this. Everyone was happy with this. No
It didn't
one
seem
cared
as
about
pronounced
this.
for sure.
Oh, is that the prototype?
Yeah, this was when it was the announcement. One in February 2023.
I'm telling you, Marco, just spray him.
Jesus. That
Just
is not
spray me
going to happen.
He's not gonna move anyway. It's just
Oh,
a museum pose. Just
Let's see.
take that
next
right
thing
off.
to say-
Also, but they also changed the. Okay.
X-Men is saying, I got the Jazz Inc. 89 Batmobile. I will definitely go with this to go along with that. I don't know that I would have gotten one without the other. But this over-textured suit really shitting in my cereal. Yeah. It's just something is off. We got Carlos Burgos in the house.
Carlos,
Saying
how
what's
are
up to
you?
everyone. I pre-ordered this Batman. I had the original figure and it's sold out. I regretted it, so I'm looking so forward to getting this figure back. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be, a lot of people will be happy with it, but it's just, people that really care about this character are not happy, right? All the folks that I know that are very passionate about this version of Batman are not very happy with this. So it just doesn't seem like they nailed it. Let's see. Jazzy saying people will always bitch about everything. Yeah, it just depends on how much you care about certain details. Because certain characters, I'll be like, it's good enough. If it comes to the Joker, I'm going to want the most detailed one possible. Mike is asking Ty, would the matte sealer crack if you pose it?
I replied to him too. Like, if you get like cheap stuff, it could, but for the most part, like I've used matte sealer on things that have moved, like are posable, and it didn't crack. Like if you apply it properly, but it all depends too on the material that it's adhering to.
This base looks great though. Everyone's getting the deluxe version.
This base looks great, but looks huge.
It's massive.
I'm talking about the height. Now let me see the suit.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Thanks, Brett. Brett is a real streamer. Ooh, that's pretty bumpy.
Yeah.
You don't want
let's
you don't
see.
want to know who is this channel. If you know what is this channel, you will ask me to stop.
Oh no, I'm not
T-dubs.
familiar. Oh, all right. Well, you know what? They've done something positive today. X-Men Supreme saying it's like Freddy Krueger hate fucked a topographical map of Utah. One of my
I see what you
favorite
did
Deadpool
there. I
quotes.
see what you did there.
TJ Miller was so good before he got canceled. Let's see.
Why did they do that? Yes, yeah, I was wondering if it was just like
That
the
belt
too,
needs
too
to go down.
contrasty.
Jesus Christ, look at that. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's riding a little bit high. Yeah, it's looking both good and bad. Like I'm very conflicted because I want a smooth texture. In my mind, that's how he needs to look. The boots look good. Yeah, that's an interesting
lot.
texture.
Like it's really, he's too shiny.
I'm
That's
worried
a
about
lot.
I'm more worried about the texture than the shininess. The shininess I don't worry much. Is the texture of the suit.
Well, that's the thing though. Like if you could knock that shininess off of him, he won't look. It that gloss pulls that detail out. It shows everything.
That from this angle looks awesome though, right? Like that, I can't wait to have that display. But
No, but not with his face. Jesus.
yeah, not with that face
So creepy. So creepy.
or
so
mouth plate.
creepy.
Oh, that's not a good pose at all. That's
Look at that. Look at
Looks
that
fine to me.
trouser.
No, I'm
Look at that pants. Did you see the pants? Look at that bulge.
Yeah, the
Look at
pants. That's what I'm saying. That looks bad.
Yeesh.
That's not flattering. And the cape, that okay, someone should not have allowed this in the video.
Moose is saying, "Can I just buy the base?" I'm sure people will be partying that out.
You know, if you buy the base, you can like 3D scan it and then print it out.
Everyone's hating on these poses. They look perfectly fine to me. I think the person tried.
Okay.
They did their
How
best.
much? Let me see that. Okay, now I have a better idea. They are going to show the height.
When did he use those?
Christian Lopez is. Oh no, that's a me pose for sure.
No, I think they did this on purpose. It is.
Oh man, they must have. They must have.
44
It still made my heart
centimeters.
sink.
44
Oh, man.
centimeters. Okay, this is a one quarter
Damn it.
scale size.
Wow. Do you have any place that you can store things on top of your cabinets, Bretta? Or there's no, everything's got to go behind acrylic or glass?
At this moment, everything is going behind the acrylic.
Because I've got some room above these, and so I think I'm going to put the Iron Man gantry above one of them, and then probably this base as well, because I don't think it's going to fit in any of my displays. We'll see.
So so I've heard too, and I've seen it in the comments about the flattened chest. Can we get a look at the chest?
Wait a minute. What's this here? Why is this a separate piece?
That chest piece?
Uh,
Is that what you're talking about?
yeah. Why is this?
That's weird
separate?
looking.
Oh yeah, that's a good catch. It's like they pasted on all the texture and the abs and such. Weird.
Let me. This is very weird. Let me take my DX09. I don't know if the DX09 is like this. I think it's only one piece.
Really bizarre though to have so many questions around this release that should have been a slam dunk, just like the
it should have
begins,
been a
like you're
home
saying,
run,
Ty.
dude.
Yeah,
It should have been a home run.
it should have been a goal in the 88th minute. You know, it should have been. I don't know. Just we keep going with the sports analogies.
No, it's the same. The DX09 is exactly the same.
You know, the costume may have been like that too. Like the armor is just there.
It's like that. It's true. They are,
Okay.
They are not
His legs are too thick.
The legs don't. You see the legs going back to position.
It's just like you were saying with the
Yeah.
arms, they just go right back because of the suit.
Okay, that's some decent flexibility though. You're getting some okay
But I
posing
don't
out
know
of
how
this.
much you want to stretch this rubber.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
And I wonder if that's why they made it textured though, to hide more defects over time. Like as you pose things, as you scratch it up, it's gonna be a little bit less noticeable than if everything was flat. Just a theory. We got Cobra's collection in the house. Saludos, guys. I'm starting to regret selling my 1.0 Batman, but we'll definitely get the 2.0 once it's going for a low price,
the cape
like
has
everything
this
else
wire
right now.
Like the first one.
It's not a bad strategy, Cobras. Thanks for joining.
I had no plans
Okay.
of getting rid of the first one. So
That cape
I was
looks
just
pretty
gonna have
cool like
both.
that.
Is he leaning on the
actually-
car?
Actually, they have here the two.
Oh,
of
there's
them
the
side by
comparison.
side.
Oh, there they are.
Okay.
The
Yeah, so
head's
he's looking
definitely
less
different.
He's looking less shiny too than the DX09 from this. And look at that cape though. Oh my god.
Because
Oh, that's
of course looks
garbage.
less shining. Because if you pay attention, you can see that whatever light they are using is going on the side into the
Yeah.
DX09.
Yeah. From one side.
They're not. They.
Oh man.
Whose video is this?
He just said
Oh,
we're good friends.
what
Toy
good friends?
Wonderland.
Ew, they make
We're gonna play
videos?
their
now they-
interview after this, and Bretta's gonna interpret. Has it been posted with subtitles yet, Bretta?
No, not yet.
I can't wait.
I haven't seen yet the interview, even in Chinese.
Oh really? You have not? Okay.
Ah, you already saw all of it?
He's
No,
very
I haven't.
eye
I haven't.
positive. Very
No,
eye positive in this.
This is a
picture.
great shot right here, though. The differences
lot
are
of thigh.
super clear.
lot of thigh.
Wow. Okay.
That head sculpt is definite difference.
It looks more like a person, like it looks more proportioned, but I like the big ears, like you were saying, Bretta, on the OG.
This is where I got my 1.0 from. Toys Wonderland.
Well, you live and you learn.
Yeah,
You got
look
it
at
though.
that. Yeah, I did. No problems. That was before they got real bad.
Yeah, they were a different company at one point in time. Yeah, that base looks incredible.
But why they have that thing in the back here with these with that tube?
Would they have what in the background?
Okay. Thank you, T-Dubs, for the
All right,
nice
well,
review.
there you go. Let's see. Mario is saying, we're definitely going to be late for LWO. No, we're wrapping up right now,
No,
Mario.
we
This
are
was just-
ready. I'm finishing this and go directly to your
Yeah.
link.
Here he is with the negativity. You know,
Oh,
we're
boy.
just
Always.
I
Jesus.
always
more
something. It's the
positive.
COVID. It's the COVID
Read
brain.
this
It's the
book,
COVID
Read
brain.
this book. You need to read this book, and you will see life in a different way.
There you go. So on that though, just wanted to thank everyone for joining us today to talk about figures, talk about our mental health. We're trying to lock into this timeline. So 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern on Fridays. Seems to be working well for us. So we're trying to be consistent, try to keep this going. Big shout out to our special guest today, Bretta. Bretta, thanks so much for joining, man. It was a
No,
good
it was
conversation.
amazing. Really good.
It's the only
Anytime
time
you
we
want to
get to
join,
talk to him.
yeah,
What?
absolutely.
I said it's the only time I get to talk to you.
We just talked. When did we talk last time?
The last stream.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
No, but to be fair, like he does like Discord and stuff, and I don't get along with Discord well at all.
I don't do Discord.
I thought you did Discord.
Well, there's your problem there.
Well, there you go. That's one problem. I know
do
you don't
Discord.
do the messenger thing is a problem because you have to go through.
You know, this morning when I wake up, I will say, "Let me see what I have in my messenger on Facebook," and I had a message from Figurecraft. He sent me before yesterday asking if I need someone on Collectors Unite. He would be happy to join. When I saw the message, was already past.
It was already over.
Was already over.
You know, it's funny because I don't normally check my Facebook because this is a different link that I've got here on my computer versus my phone. And so I just happened to open it and see your message, Bretta, or else I would have seen it totally after the show. And so glad I was able to see it. Glad you're able to join us. Thanks everyone that was in the chat. If you're still here, if you wouldn't mind just hitting the like button. LWO on Mario's channel. So in about 20 minutes, catch us over there. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to talk about exclusives. I'm sure we're going to talk Marvel.
No, we are going heavy on the Deadpool spoilers.
Oh, okay. All in on
Spoiler-free
Deadpool
stream.
spoilers.
I
Okay.
will not be there.
There you go. So Ty won't be there, but
Yes.
oh wow, there you go. Oh man. So with that, yeah, thanks everyone for joining, and we will catch you all on the next one. Ty, if you wouldn't mind, lead us out.
Woo!
Nice.
How you feeling, man? Pretty lucky. Say what? I'm fine. I'm pretty fine. What? Well, yeah, I'm good. How are you?